Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio, this final show of the 25-26 season. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening. I'll do this in reverse order. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox.
Evening, Jim.
Evening, Ox. Robert.
Evening, Albert.
Evening, Lotties. I'm not going through all your names. Evening, everybody.
Evening, AK, the second oldest.
Good evening, Ox, and the team and everybody that's listening.
And of course, the one and only Bridgeman. Evening, Bridge. The first show of the season, he done it, and the last show of the season, he done it. Evening, Bridge.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening, Bridge. Right, okay. How we all doing? How we doing, Albert?
Smashing, mate. Absolutely smashing. Thank God the season's done.
Yes, I've got to say, I think it's maybe been the bizarrest season. Rangers, I'm just talking about Rangers here. The bizarrest season I can ever remember in my short time on this earth. How are you, Robert?
I am alright, mate. I think through that list, I thought you were going oldest to youngest because I think I've aged this season, that's for sure. Felt like it anyway.
That wasn't a full night out we had, mate. That was only playing at it.
We don't get 90-minute performances on a night out or in the game.
Speak for yourself, mate.
I can't speak for you. I left early.
Of course. How's Jim? How's your Jim?
No bad. Good first season. Really enjoyed it.
Yes. We'll have to discuss your contract's up for renewal, mate. Both parties have got an option. What do you think?
Binned.
This could be your testimonial tonight, mate.
Oh, well. There'll be a few testimonials.
Letters for your lawyer. Listen, as long as we enjoyed it, mate, we've enjoyed you.
It's been good, mate.
Some of the banter behind the scenes, some of the boys have been really tough on you, bruh.
I thought so.
What a mover.
Sorry.
What a mover.
That's all right. I've got that Robert's number anyway, big man. Don't worry about that.
What I always say is, what a mover, Jim. What a mover.
Oh, aye.
AK, how you doing, Biggie?
Aye, I'm all right, Ox. I'm all right. I'm glad the season's over. I'm looking forward to a fantastic World Cup. Not.
I'd actually forgot about that, if I'm honest. To the day, mate, I just seen that there's a squad getting announced tomorrow. And good luck to young Finlay Curtis, particularly. Yeah. How's the bridge? How are you, mate?
Excellent, pal. Thank you very much. I'm hoping everybody on the panel's feeling as good as me. I'm glad it's over. Get it behind us. Glad it's over.
That's the massive blue pills you take. Oh, dear. Right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get the phone lines open. This is our last show of the season, yeah? We'll open the phone lines right away. We'll look back quickly at Saturday's game, which sort of pales into insignificance. We'll then look back at the season for the start to the finish, and people can chip in. But if callers come in, mate, and they want to take us down a certain road and talk about anything that's happening in the world of Rangers / Scottish football, we're open to that debate as well, yes?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, then. Okay, so right away, we'll get the phone lines open. So, let's hear from you. We'll get that in a second. We'll come right back. But if you want to join us, it's 0141 356 1972. Phone in and we will sort that out to you. Look, Saturday's game, bit of a non-event. But within that non-event, there's one of the finest goals, and I'll go to Jim with us. One of the finest goals you'll see, mate.
Aye, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when Romans passed it back to him. No, seriously, aye, some striker. This shows that he's got it within him. I think what did he fall? Two goals short of being top goal scorer in Scotland this season.
Aye. Listen, mate, picture mate, his form for the turn of the year has been fine, and he's made a lot of his words up until the turn of the year was shocking, all there. But you've got to get, if you criticise, you critique, you laugh, you slag. When somebody turns it around, you've got to praise them and be honest, mate. Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. It goes both ways, no? I mean, it's just the facts. We're only critiquing the game and the players we see per game by game. And you can see the big boys get something. There's no doubt about that. He's definitely get something. So his goal was an absolute peach, mate. Absolute peach. And you can't say he just scores in big games. No, he doesn't do that in big games. He does do it in big games as well. So, I'm glad for the boy. I mean, we want him all to be, we've said that 100 times before, we want him all to be successful and be good. And the big boy's definitely turned it around for himself, because he's taken a lot of heavy criticism right at the beginning of the season, and rightly so. He wasn't playing well, but he's definitely turned it around. I think I like the boy. I think there's something about that boy that, apart from the football side, I think he's got a great attitude towards anybody he's playing. They get messed about, mate. I like that. He takes care of himself on and off the park. So for me, that'll do it for me. That's a good step forward for a young boy. You know, was he only 21, 22, something like that?
22 this Saturday, I believe, mate. Yeah.
There you go, man. He's shown maturity beyond that, and it's good to see. It's definitely good to see. If all the rest of them would have brought their games up or turned their games into the standard that he's starting to turn his, we might have done a bit better this season.
AK, has he made his eat my words?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but he's certainly shown a lot more potential than what he was shown at the start of the season. I think the price tag was a bit of a burden on him, Ox, and the fact he's barely played any football in the last 18 months before he came to us, and obviously that few months of settling in period, to say that because of the price tag and because of who it was that bought him and the reasons why, and you know that came a lot of weight and his expectation on his shoulders, but he's starting to show us exactly why he was brought to the club in the first place. And you say that goal the other day was excellent and topped with a hat trick. You know, so if that's what he's going to give us for seasons forthcoming, then we can't complain. But it's a good grounding to start.
What are you thinking, Bridge? Has he made his eat my words? Picture matey.
I think Chermitty's had a great season, scoring goals. Sometimes it doesn't come off for him, obviously. But and Saturday just made everybody eat their words, didn't he? As far as his goals are concerned. That shot into the goal must have been travelling 100 mile an hour. Absolutely fantastic. Really and truly, get a hat trick. You can't say any more. The boys got a hat trick, and that's it. I think a couple of our players maybe can hang their head in shame for that one goal. That was just shocking. A terrible pass back and a terrible goalkeeper doing that. Just shocking. That's the two memories I've got. I really liked because I could get onto them, and I thought there was a lot of embarrassment there. A real lot of embarrassment, particularly a goalkeeper. What a shocker! What a shocker!
Yeah, we started the game remarkably well. We get a goal within a couple of minutes. Picture matey scored, as we said. Robert went 2-0 up, and we're coasting. And I've got to admit, when most of us were playing football, that you wouldn't pass the ball back towards the goal. It was all Bell, I tell you, all Bell. It was one of the ever in doubt, put it out. Don't put it across your box. Don't pass it back to your goal. Yeah,
Between the sticks.
These were basics. The game's changed, and it's not necessarily for the better. Because if that's the right side of the post, well, he sort of guides it in, which didn't help, but you just don't do it. And it wasn't a great pass back, but still, there was no real pressure to Butland, and Romans might be like 20% culpable. Butland 80% culpable, unless somebody disagrees. Albert, then Robert.
I disagree. I think Butland's 100% culpable, mate. Oh, there's nothing
You're
wrong with the pass
a
back.
harder man than me, mate.
But there's nothing wrong with the pass back. It's a straight pass back. It wasn't even hit hard. It was just a roll back. All you need to do is clear it or take it on his stride and pass it the way he wants to pass it. He took his eye off the ball, mate. That's what caused it. And then turned his foot to the side, knocked in his own goal. Clown. That's what he is. He's just a clown. After the start, you'll see. And by the way, that first goal, Cherviti was some goal as well.
A nice
Wasn't
finish.
it?
Nice
Oh, it was really good. I mean, top draw, that one as well. And then you do that, and then that big clown, 2-0 up, and that big clown lets a goal like that, and you're sitting going, for Christ's sake, man, what's going on? And that you can see the difference in Falkirk. That you just any team, you just get energy for that. They just because up to that point, we were just taking a line in them. We were showing the class difference with the way we should be showing with the majority of teams in the league. You should be able to see the gap that much. But once Butland scored for them, that gap reduced. They got a bit of confidence. We sort of lost a wee bit of confidence. They're sitting saying to yourself, self-inflicted again. I know this doesn't mean anything. It's a friendly, all but name, but it still shows you it's no get the mentality, just no get the killer instinct, mate.
Robert, your take on it?
I'll give Romans 5% blame, mate, simply because he's passing it back to a keeper who we all know isn't comfortable at the ball with his feet. We've seen it over the course of the season, and even before this season. He's not this modern day ball playing goalkeeper. You've seen it the old firm game, how quickly he was getting pressed by Maeda, and we still kept giving it to him to go back towards our goal. You're just asking for trouble. And it was only a matter of time before something like that happened. And obviously, when it does go 2-1, you start going to yourself, no again, surely no again. But he's fully at fault. Other than that 5%, I'll give to Romans just for passing it back to a guy who you know yourself isn't comfortable. But as Albert said, the Cherviti goal, it's a fantastic finish. His first one was quite a cute wee finish as well, but the second one is, wow. It shows you, as Jim said, he's got it in his locker. And if that's the foundation he's set himself, 15 goals, 5 assists in his first season and 30 Premier League games. It's a decent number when you look at it over the piece, mate. It's a decent return. And as Albert said, if a few more helped along the way, it might have been a different story.
Aye, as I said, I think his form for the turn of the year has been fine, mate. But obviously, if you look at the whole season as a whole, it wasn't great up until Christmas, and then bang. Because I think he'd scored 1 goal up until then. So 14 for January. If he'd have just got 14 before January, we'd have been saying, wow, what a signing. Anyway, so we give away the goal, and you're shaking your head, scratching your head, and thinking, how does that happen? See, when the stat came up, AK, and it said 2-1, and it gave you shots on target, done. They've scored a goal, you're scratching your head, didn't you?
Aye, definitely. I think maybe Big Butland had both teams to score, Rangers to win that day, and he's caught him. That's what it looked like. With his footwork, terrible, absolutely terrible. But it's been one of these seasons for the big guy. I'll not miss him, mate. Honestly, I just want rid of all these clowns that we've got playing in our team, and I've got no allegiance to any of them. I want improvement. I want a redo in that dressing room, and I want us to start winning games and focus on every game, whether it be the last game, the first game, right away. You need to hit the ground running, and we didn't do that, and it kind of caught up with us in the end in the last 5 games, but it's been one of these seasons of up and downs. But it was certainly there for us. You see the points totals to win the league, 82 points to 80 points. That's more than gettable, even with poor teams that we've had in the past. And when Clermont probably beat the totals, I've not looked at the totals, Ox, you could tell me better. I'm pretty sure Beale beat that total. Gio definitely beat that total. You know, so that we were well under par for the entire season, but there's mitigating reasons for that, as we all know.
So we gets the 2-1, and then we makes it 3-1, and again Cherviti's involved. And someday me and Robert will keep out of this one because we talked about it, but My initial take on it when I first saw it, so well, this might get chopped off. But could be offside. Yeah, I didn't notice it at first, and then when I saw the replay, I thought, this might get chopped off. It might have just been in front. It's going to be a tight call. Well, I don't know about yous, but I nearly wet myself when I seen the lines going across the park. They weren't even parallel with the box. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that. Jim, then Bridgman.
Aye. I did notice it when I seen it online, but I get this tells you the state of VR in this country. I just summed it up. Again, it's not been the first time it's happened to us up there. Was it maybe 2 seasons ago? Apparently kick given against us. And it was nowhere near the box when it showed you that same kind of angle.
Yes. Aye. Just a fast bridge. I mean, I don't know. Well, we've got a goal, but the lines didn't look right to me, mate.
I look at that and I say to myself, when you're right, it didn't look right at all. What that's what we're using in Scotland.
I don't listen. Just 23-24 on the flop. Come on, 85 points. 85 points. Okay, is that the start you wanted?
Yeah, aye, Magic. Thanks for that, Ox.
Yeah. Do you want me to go back? Do you want before that?
The year before,
come on.
22-23, was Beale and Gio getting 92 points.
Mm-hmm. I reckon we need about 20 more points next season. There you go. Anyway, so we get 3-1 up. And then I've not looked at it back since Saturday and I've not seen any replays. I can only just think that it was Connor Barron that touched the ball when he done his Superman dive. And if it was a touch, it was the slightest of touches. If he's done it, if he's caught it, and if they can prove it, that's all for debate. It is a penalty kick because it was stupid how you don't come out for a header or better, even at his height.
He can't get up. That's that. He jumped as high as he could, mate. And he knows he's getting anywhere near. He sticks his phone up like a goalkeeper. Butland should take lessons off him. Robert said he's not too clever with his feet. He's not too clever with his hands either, Butland. But anyway, just touching on it. I'll go back to the Barn one, but just touching on the Timothy one. I think it was offside in it, basically. But I'll tell you one thing. See, that game meant something. There's no chance we were getting that goal. No chance. If we were going for a title, mate, no chance. So it was a case of, I better get him thrown a crumb and a meaningless game. That's why I looked at that, because he was offside. He was definitely offside. His head was offside. But anyway,
Are you saying to me, Albert, are you saying to me that you think there's some jiggery pokery going on in Scottish football? Is that the accusation?
I think that's what I'm saying. I think
Is that what you're saying to me? Well, I
think
cannot.
Skullduggery, Ox.
Is that are you saying that as well, AK? Are you saying
I
that
like
as
your
well?
word, skullduggery.
Oh, he's got jiggery pokery. He's got skullduggery. All right. Okay. Wow, I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked at that. I get your point, Albert, and I don't think I would even put an argument up against you. So
it's
the
a
Baron,
guaranteed certainty, isn't it?
the Baron one.
Anyway,
The Baron one. I'll ask a question. Conor Barron, we know what his physique is, but he is competitive to try and work and close people down. Why would you have him in that area of the pitch? Why would you not have him out at the edge of the box, try to shut down and do what he's good at? He ain't going to win you much in there. Just the way I see Bridgman and Robert.
I was speaking about that, got a penalty.
Yes.
Okay, the penalty, I think it was against Barron, and I don't, for the life of me right now, I don't know what he's doing out in among play at that point. He's never going to get to head the ball for the life of me. He should have been on the post. That's what he should have been, on the post or outside the box waiting the ball coming out. No way should he be in there getting involved. But what I did notice is whenever it came across, the ball came off one of their players' arms and then hit what's his name? Oh my goodness! Oh,
Diamande.
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 Diamande in the arm. Now, I don't know whether it was the one that hit Diamande in the arm or no. So I'm not sure if it was a penalty against Barron or Diamande.
I still looked at that, mate, and I wasn't sure if it touched each one. But in saying that, I saw quickly Match of the Day 2 last night. I just caught bits of it at the end, and I saw the one with Man United where the guy catches. Don't know what did you see that?
Aye. Aye, he did. Shocking, isn't
Oh,
it?
dear.
Uh,
Oh, that was
and
unbelievable.
Ox, did you hear the Forest fans?
What were they
Aye.
singing, Jim?
Are you Celtic in disguise? They were singing.
And
Ah,
they
that's
actually-
right.
the Nottingham
Are you
Forest fans
Celtic in
intimating that
disguise?
they're
Right enough.
skullduggery going on in Scottish football.
Well, the
What's happening?
possibility.
A lot of it. A lot of it.
I can't believe you're saying that, Jim. I cannot believe that.
Oh, I thought
Go
it
on,
was
Jim,
funny, but
behave yourself.
I know. I'm
By
letting
the
the
way,
side
if we're not
down
going
here.
to talk at once, by the way, if we're all going to
I'm
talk
letting the
at
brothers
once,
down.
this isn't going to work. If we're all going to talk at once, this isn't going to work.
Apologies if I did it. Sorry.
Right. So what were you saying, Jim? That the Forest fans were singing what?
They were
Just for
singing
everybody
"Are
to
you
remember.
Celtic in disguise?"
Because of that decision that Man United got yesterday.
Yes, it was a possibility. Yes.
All right. I don't know where they're coming from with that. I can't understand that.
I don't know why they're doing it either, because I don't know if there's anything happened in Scottish football the last few weeks.
No, must have missed it, mate. Must have missed it, but I'm sure we'll come back to it. Right, so we got it 3-2 at half time. I don't think they've had a shot at goal. They've scored a goal, got a penalty kick. You're scratching your head saying, but the highlight was definitely Chermitty's second goal. Definitely. So we come out in the second half and he gets another good goal with Chermitty. Yeah, he uses that height, Bridgeman. Romans puts in a decent cross, bang. 4-2. And if he had been scoring goals like that all season, 30 would have been a low number, mate. 30 would have been a low number, but also you've got to get that delivery in.
Absolutely. Brilliant delivery and a fantastic header. Fantastic header. And that's the second time I've seen that at the back post. Well, a really, really good. Comes onto the ball and meets it dead on. Superb. Brilliant goal. Great cross for the fullback. Can't ask for any more in that way.
Yes. Yes. So then we get a fifth goal, and I'll go to Robert with this. He's the time to reflect it. Chermitty's brought down. And we get a fifth goal, and that was him involved in all 5 goals at the weekend, mate. All 5 goals. So we get a penalty kick. I would have liked Mikey Moore to take it personally. I know the fans wanted that. I actually agreed with that. But if they decided before the game who's going to take it as professional football, and Asgard, we know he's got a decent set piece. He puts it away nonchalant. So, like he's done with a couple of free kicks this season. And I suppose his goal return over the season hasn't been too bad. But it's been his play, it's let him down, Robert.
It certainly has, mate. It certainly has. We know, we've said it many times, he's got the attributes, he's got the quality to be a good player. He's just not showed it consistently enough, and that's where the frustration lies, because I think if he did show it, then I think we would see the real Asgard and what he can actually bring. He might actually be that missing piece of the jigsaw in that final third. But going back to the penalty, the movement from Chermitty is good across the defender. But first and foremost, you've got to credit Gassama. As much as we've given him criticism and critiqued his general playing performances, being out on that right-hand side, his desire to keep going, push forward, keep the ball in play, use his speed to get away from a defender, that's the Gassama we want to see. And I know it's took to the very last game. Aye, just using it, mate, because he's got the burst of energy to do it. He slips Chermitty and it's a penalty all day long. But Asgard's penalty, if you watch it back, it takes very little run-up. It's just a very little backlift as well. So he does well to get it in the goal where he does, but consistently general play is something that he individually needs to work on and contribute, because if he doesn't, and we do bring in better players in the summer, then he'll find it hard to be in the squad, if I'm being honest.
Aye, his goals, some of his goals have been absolutely sublime. Asgard, a couple of free kicks. The goal against Dundee United when he strolled through, and what a goal, mate. I think he got the winning header against St Mirren. When you add all him up, his goal return's been okay, but his play at times has been diabolical. He came off top earlier, but the goals were scored, and some of them are no bad. Particularly, Chimic's hat-trick was pretty good, But in the second half there was a couple of chances we gave away to Falkirk, and how they managed to miss one. I think we've seen the rawness of Big Fernandez in one move there, where he's attracted to the ball, and whether Aaron's would have dealt with it, I think he's still got to keep his place. When he makes that move and he goes running out to the wing, mate, Aaron's is there, and the boy's actually left with a tap in, and should have done better, but that's the rawness of our centre halves, and hopefully they'll be better for that next season, whoever it is. And Fernandez will be more experienced and get a partner with him who is maybe, I'll use a term that's been used a lot today, for more of a leader than we've had most of the season. AK.
I'll take your word for it, because the pub that I was in at the last, he flicked it out of the Hearts games. So I've never seen it. But no, Big Fernandez is Big Fernandez is he's raw. He's a raw talent, but you're right. He needs an experienced centre half next to him, somebody that can talk him through the game for position and don't mess about with it in the wrong areas, sort of thing. There is potential there with the big man, but there's also a kind of lackadaisical attitude there that he needs to snap out his game as well. I mean, people might like that he takes certain chances in that, but you only need to get caught out a couple of times and it makes a fool of you and you're straight on through an keeper, and you can't afford that, to lose stupid goals just because you're messing about with it. Your job as a defender, Bridge will tell you, just clear your lines and do your job, and let the midfielders and the forward players take effect in the final third of the part in the opposition's half.
I know he hadn't played for a couple of months, Roy, but John Suter, Albert, would it be fair that he looks like a guy that's lost all his confidence, mate? Even in Saturday, mate, he just, in the last few weeks before he went out the team, there's a guy who looks as if it's just been sacked. Now, I know he might not be everybody's answer, but I think he's a better player than what he showed in the last few months.
I don't know about that, but he's.
I'm not saying he's a star, Albert. I'm saying.
Oh, I know, but I think he's realised he's no kidding anybody on anymore, especially the coaching staff. They know him for what he is, mate. He's just a bang average centre half, nothing more than that. They call him a siege defender. I don't even think he's that anymore. I think he was that with Hearts when he played with Hearts. I think he was good with Hearts, and as much as he is a siege defender, but with us, he's got it in his head, and he's trying to be better than he actually is. I don't mind people trying to be better, but he's just simply not good enough, mate. If you look at it, what's happened to us this season overall is just what sort of sums it up. Just not good enough, mate. Team's not good enough. Players are not good enough. You've got a smarter and a decent players, but the majority of them are just bang average to crap. I mean, that's what you've got, and Suter comes into that category. I wouldn't have given him the year contract. I think he gets the year contract because he's Scottish, mate. I think that's the only reason. No other reason than that.
Well, his form since he got the contract, mate, and I'll go to Jim with this, his form since he got it wasn't entitled to him to get anything, if we're honest. Jim.
I was a wee bit surprised that he got one. But again, I don't know if there's mitigating circumstances as to why he's kind of fell right after things. Usually, you hear rumours about things going on and all the rest of it, but big man's certainly taken a dip anyway, recently anyway. He fell right out the picture. But I heard what you're saying there about Fernandez stepping out. It's been a problem with the defence over the 4 games that we'd actually lost there. Losing the same goals with that either or the centre half stepping out when they don't need to be stepping out.
Aye. They've made errors. Big Suter, I actually thought he was older than what he is. He's only 29 at the moment. I actually thought he was older than that. So there you go. 23 league starts this season. Yeah, 23 league starts. So he's missed 15 games, which is no far away for half a season. And 22-23, 8 games. 23-24, 24 starts. Identical starts in 24-25 and one less this season. Yeah. That's without the substitute appearances. 117 starts in 4 seasons so far with the club. So he's basically, if you take it, the norm for us is about 60 games. Yeah. The norm.
Has he ever won a man of the match?
I don't know, mate. I'm not going to start. So he's pretty much turning up for half the games, mate. So there's just that side of it. And then if you look at his form lately, I'm glad they're sensible and only gave him a 1-year extension. I accept your point. You might not have done it, boys. But at least we never gave him a 4-year contract like we've done in the past.
Aye.
Aye.
That's a plus.
Aye. It's a bit like the School Wilson deal.
That's a
The
plus.
best deal we've done all year, wasn't it?
What was that? Say that again?
The School Wilson deal in the past, we gave him a 3.5-year contract.
Aye. They signed him up for the next 10 years. A testimonial at the end of it.
Okay, we'll park Saturday and we'll look at this season. Robert, try and describe it, how it started, the middle, before the split and after the split, however you want to take it, mate. Yeah.
I think for me, Ox, once the news of the takeover came through and it happened and it was completed, I'll be honest, I thought that was us going to show real ambition going forward. And then we kind of got a bit of back to reality with the appointment of Russell Martin. I mean, there was no one in their right mind would have said Russell Martin would be the first name out your mouth for the Rangers manager's job. I know it's easy to say now in hindsight, but my honest opinion when I seen it was surely not. He got the job, and right from the get-go, we've been on here since then saying it never looked right. There didn't seem to be any sort of structure. And from the get-go, mate, it looked like he was up against it. The players didn't seem to buy into whatever he was trying to produce on the training ground and in a game. He went very early on in his assessment of some players. First game of the season at Motherwell, some players were dropped to following fixtures, and it became a bit of a car crash, mate. So that left us trailing in the league. European football was looking beyond gone before it even started. So obviously we're all flat and deflated. Danny Rule comes in, steadies the ship, starts to get some good results, keeps clean sheets, squad's looking a lot more together, more fresh. There was a connection back with the support. And ultimately, mate, we've ended with a whimper with 4 defeats out of the last 5. So the only way you could describe it has been, as you said at the start of the show, bizarre, roller coaster, emotional, but nothing to show for it. And there's a lot to learn from this season. But I think you've got to use it, the hurt, in a good way to go forward into next season and make sure that these mistakes don't happen again.
I'm just on a completely different subject, and I don't want you to comment on it. It's just breaking news that Guardiola's leaving Man City. So there you go, Albert. You might not have to watch him much longer. I know you're a big fan.
Who?
Guardiola.
Oh, good riddance.
Right, okay. It was a bizarre one. By the way, did they look a good fit? And then their reaction started right away at a friendly against Bruges, who would come back later on in the season and show them a lesson. But it was never a good fit for day one. I don't think anybody could have understood on it. But it happened. The only good thing that came out of AK is we never waited long to fix it.
Aye, well, some would say we waited too long before we pulled the trigger. And to be honest with you, in hindsight, you could have said he could have went after the Bruges away game, Ox, and I don't think he would have many complaints. To be honest, that was a 6-0 drubbing. It was an embarrassment. And Butland had actually one of his better games that night, and we're still walking away going, oh, geez, oh man, we're getting destroyed at that level of football, which the rest of the season go in store. So, but it just went for, as Rob says, the elation of the new owners coming in and all these promises and all these players arriving and the turnover of the dressing room that we had. I mean, there was an exodus of players that we went out at the start of the season and we were expecting us to get better, but we didn't. We get worse. And as Rob touched on as well, we picked fights with Tavernier and Raskin right away, which probably wasn't a good move for him. I don't think there was many people wanted Russell Martin in the first place. Because of the way
Was
that
Russell
things
Martin right with that? Was Russell Martin
yes,
right?
in hindsight, yes, he was absolutely bang on, as we've fun out to our cost at the end of the season. And getting back to the Suter point that you spoke about, he's on that leadership group. I don't know where we can tear up his contract, because see that leadership group works. Your manager and our owners have spoke about it in detail in the last couple of days. That needs eradicated, and we need to start again. And that's been a problem in our dressing room for a while, because it's been a recurring theme. You're getting a new manager down, sort of coming in there, run of wins. As soon as we get a wee bit of pressure on, disgruntlement, poor run of results, pressure for the fans, want to sack, the board reacts, sacked, and then we go again. Well, this time we've got new owners, and they've come in with their eyes wide open this time and pinpointed exactly who is to blame, and it looks like they're going to act on it this time, and they already have with backing their man.
Well, if you look at it, if you take Suter and Butland just in isolation, they've only got a year of their contracts to go now if they both see them out. So how can they lead anything? They're planning for long term. Just didn't make sense, because they're not going to. Well, hopefully they're not going to get their contracts unless they make us all eat humble pie and get a lot Brewers orang next season. But I think they might see their contract to it, but this time next year they'll be gone. So I don't see how they could lead anything. But that's just me. I think there's going to be a lot of changes at the club, and I think a lot of them would have happened. Bridgeman would have won the league, I know, mate, because of the contract situations.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. And some of the words that was said earlier, you know, I think Suter, he give him an extra season or extra year, was a bad one. In fact, bringing him into Rangers was a bad one. For me, so no offence to anybody, but I don't think he was ever anywhere near Rangers. But we brought him in, and you have to support him because he's one of our players. But he's a liability. Suter, liability. And by the way, our goalkeeper is turning out that way as well. He's beginning to be a liability. That was a dreadful goal to give away. Absolutely dreadful. That tells you that man's not concentrating where the ball is. That ball wasn't the hardest pass in the whole world, but he deliberately waited till it came to him. He could have landed out and booted that ball anywhere. He waits till it come back and it was right past him. Wow. That's just not right. Just not right at all. He's supposed to be a top-class goalkeeper. Do you think we would get any money for him? I don't think so. If we try to sell him, that is, I don't think so.
He can't move his feet, mate. His feet have just go all of a sudden, yeah. It's just, you know, the first goal against Motherwell, you see him when he has to move his feet, when he's trying to move to get the ball when it's played back to him. He's all off balance and it just doesn't look right, mate. And it all comes from the feet work, mate. He hasn't never been the best, so it's not a new thing. But now all of a sudden it's been highlighted because he's losing more goals. And by the way, whether we like it or not, the weekend, Jim, that was another 2 into the pile. You know, since Falkirk away 5. What is that? 5, 8, 10, 13, 15 goals in 6 games, mate. 15 goals in 6 games at the end of the season.
It's ridiculous. But again, as we said there, the Jack Butland thing, I don't think it's, you're right what you said there, I don't think it's just been this season. Think away back to the time under Clement where to me it all started to fall apart was Motherwell beat him when he tried to clear the ball at his near post and all. Then Motherwell turned as well, and it started leading off to that kind of, what they call him, Ross County, Dundee kind of part of the season. But again, putting it at his feet at the Scottish Cup final against Celtic and all, doesn't he steady himself and get his body behind it and then drops the ball and Celtic score in the Scottish Cup final. So again, he's another one I don't think. I'm at the stage. I know Robert's saying there about the. To me, it's been an absolute mental season. Mental. I was worried for Rangers when it went at the start of the Russell Martin. Where, being honest, and I think we mentioned it when we went on that wee run there. You were worried where that win was going to come from. I know people will say, "I don't talk nonsense." I was, because the football we were playing was ridiculous. Then we got rid of him, roll in. But I think again, I know I've been slagged about the white flag and all the rest of it, but I was always waiting on this happening. I'm nearly 60. And you're used to it over the recent years being a Rangers fan. You're waiting on that coming. And lo and behold, it's happened again. But again, I know we had a wee bit of a discussion today on our chatting. I blame these players more sometimes than I blame that manager. And I hope he does go in there wielding the axe. But I think the manager needs to start learning things himself, even though I think the players have a lot to do with it.
Oh, without a doubt, mate. When the game starts, the manager can, they can do more than they used to be able to do with 5 substitutes, but that's if the substitutes are good enough. But I get it. So we all agree that the bizarrest season ever, all better in some respects, eh?
It's bizarre and it was all self-inflicted, mate. That's the annoying thing about it. We'll get to the referees and what they were up to all season, but mostly self-inflicted. And if you look at for the start of the season, they came in and we were all high hopes. We had Felwell there, Stewart there, which he fell out with the Rangers support. That's his problem. But the new American owners, we've done a fair bit of business. We've got a lot of new players in. You're all looking forward to it. A new manager. We didn't particularly think he was going to be good. But the poor guy never stood a chance, mate. And I'm with Jim. It's the players, mate. It's got nothing to do with managers or owners. It's everything to do with the players. Everything to do with the players. Now we know there was cleats in there. Now we know that they ganged up on Martin. And Martin came out the very first game of the season, if you remember. He came out right then. Some players, he was talking to some players, didn't try to do too much. And he came out and said it. Less is more. And your wee man Raskin took the Huff, so he'd have run in battle with him. He'll be backed up with Tavernier and backed up with the rest of these jolly men. But you've got to remember, by the way, seeing that dispute happens, you have got a leadership. Where is the leadership group? The leadership group should be sorting that out. That's what they should be doing. Instead of that, what do? They join in. You sit and going, well, that's good. We don't know all this. We know it all now, but we don't know it then. But you can see we're not winning games. We don't look like winning games. We're playing crap. And we're all wondering what's happening. Raskin's not getting in the team. Why is he not getting in the team? Then it all comes out. He's fell out with Martin, and all his pals have fell out with him as well. So you're looking at that and going, well, poor manager never had a chance. Not one chance did he have. Not a good manager. I'm not trying to say for a minute he was a good manager.
Two different debates, mate. Two different debates.
Yeah. But everybody's saying we're losing the league. We lost a treble, mate. There was a treble on this year. And we blew it. We just threw it away. Completely threw it away for no good reason. And by the way, one thing that needs to be learned, and they need to be told to some of these players, that's the easiest treble you're ever going to likely to win if you'd have won it this year. That's the easiest it's going to be. It's going to get harder for then on in, because everybody's going to start strengthening. Everybody knows that Rangers are going to strengthen. You know what happens when we strengthen, everybody else strengthens. So the better, if they think they're hard this year, they better buckle down. People like Asgard and things like that, if they all stay, they need to buckle down, man. There isn't any room for lazy players, just none. But it's a bizarre season. I just looked at it and just shake your head. What could have been? What could have been? I think you just eating our spilt milk, as they all say.
No. But we looked at it, I'm with Jim. When Russell Martin, you were wondering, wow, who can we beat in this league? How bad have we got? And we always looked as if we were only making a lot of chances and we were conceding goals regular, so it wasn't a good mix. Barry Rowe came in and it wasn't perfect, but slowly but surely it improved. And I think we weren't sure around about Christmas time, and then we stumbled by St Martin and we stumbled by Murrayville, and we're thinking, right, okay, we'll get big games coming up, and then we beat them, the big Shermitty double, and then we beat Aberdeen twice, and slowly but surely we're saying, wait a minute. And it carried on, and there was a few blips in the road when we were frustrated, in that. But in January, it looked as if the momentum and everything was coming our way, AK, and it looked as if this just grows and grows, we stopped conceding goals, we were scoring goals, and then all of a sudden we headed on, we get into February and March. It was okay, there was a couple of bad results. I'm not saying away at Easter Road's the worst result in the world, but no got to Livingston and winning wasn't great, that wasn't great. And then all of a sudden we get to Falkirk and the split, we manages to win 6-3, and we're thinking, right, bizarrely, this whole thing is back in our hands. Win the last 5 games, possibly 4 wins and a draw, and we've won the league. And you can see it mapped out in front of you. Well, help me out, AK.
Oh, it was there for us, Ox. It was definitely there. And Danny Rowe, with the facts were that he'd actually won more points than all the other teams to put us in that position. It's been well spoken about before, the position in the league when we came in to where we got to before the split. But the fact of the matter is, it was there in front of us, and whatever happened in Spain and coming back from Spain before the Motherwell game has destroyed everything that we built. People could point back and listen, I accept that. The Celtic games at Ibrox as well, where we were 2-0 up, and we let that slip to 2-2. That was a severe blow.
Yes,
Because with a chance there to really cement ourselves, that we'd intent to win this. And then the Scottish Cup at home, and they were depleted and we didn't. That was a blow to the support as well. And that's when maybe a wee bit of the doubts for the support and some players and what have you kicks in again. Because as Jim says, we've seen this movie before, when we get in a position to threaten to win something, all of a sudden we implode. But there's stuff going on there in that dressing room that we're not privy to, and the manager, I think, is trying to be fighting fires all along. And it's just when they players cross the white line, it's everything's in the hands of the guys. A manager's almost as good as his workforce, and if his workforce decide that they don't want to play for that guy, there's bugger all a manager can do.
I didn't. I must admit, I knew that. I thought that we'd drop maybe some points in the last 5 games, but I didn't see that coming. Bridgman, Robert.
No, he certainly didn't, mate. Certainly didn't. I mean, we sat here back in October, and how many times did we say, "Did you see this coming?" It kind of turned around then. You'd have said, "No chance, not that quick anyway." And then you would never have seen the way this last 5 games have unfolded, the last 4 defeats unfolded, because everything that we spoke about, the points won, the form, the ascendancy, everything was all in our favour. And ultimately, as AK says, we shot ourselves in the foot. We've only got ourselves to blame. We let it slip away from our hands, and that's the real frustration, because you've gone that distance under Danny Rule. The players have got themselves back in it. We gave them credit for getting themselves back into it. But for me, it shows a bit that Danny Rule's capable of working with the squad, but the squad isn't capable enough to go over that final line. And that's the improvement we need to see in the summer. And I think when you've heard from Kavanagh today and yesterday, I think that's the aim, is there's just that extra bit needed within the squad. Because I think Albert touched on it. You can have any manager, if you've not got the squad, you're not going to win nothing.
I don't know. I think I remember back in the day they used to say with Fergie was worth 12 points minimum a season. Yeah, in a close race, a man.
He's badgering referees, mate. He's badgering referees. That's how he's worth 12 points.
Yeah, but he was ahead of his time, if you know what I mean. Ahead of his time. See what I've done there? Yeah, Fergie time, man. That's another name for that. But look, if you've got 2 similar squads, yeah, A good manager will not make a bad group a good group. Yeah, they can make them better, improve them, but he's not going to take them so far. I mean, you need the right blend, and we've been lacking a lot. It might be as simple as that. We talk about leadership, maybe experience, whatever you want to call it. But there we go. When we brought in what's the boy, Joe Rothwell, I thought, right, there was a bit of sense in this. We know we might get a couple of years tops. That never worked to try to bring in an experienced neither Jimmy.
Aye, there's been a few mistakes made in the transfer market. Again, Rothwell came in there and we thought he was going to produce a goods, but again, he's not the only one. Go back to the start of some of the present team. I'll go and say maybe 3 or 4 of them. The first games, and we were all like, "Ah, man, oh, look at this, man, this looks the berries here." I'm talking about Ant-Man, talking about wee Gazama, and Tello Asgard and all. It started to come in, looked as if they were going to do the business. Then
I must
boom.
have missed that Asgard performance, mate. I must have missed it.
Yeah, I think there's a player in there, big man. But whether Danny Rowe can get it out of him is another thing.
I think there's ability in there. Whether there's a
Aye.
player in there is another thing, but two different
Well, you
things.
didn't need the ability to be a player, mate.
You may have the ability if you've not got the attitude, it means nothing.
Yeah.
That's the man. Get rid. That's my opinion on him.
AK,
Yeah, you're consistent, Albert. You're consistent on that.
well, he's very consistent, mate. Very consistent.
Yeah.
See, my problem is, see, like, say, I know we've not hit it yet, but we're going to talk about next season. And what I've been hearing so far for the executives is we're looking for experience and chemistry. Well, just talking about Rothwell, he had all the experience to come up here. So you've got to be cautious where you buy that experience. Be very wary if you're buying a player for Premiership. And Rothwell's proved the point that it's come up for the Championship, win promotion, and then you pick out, you buy one of the more experienced players straight out their squad that's going right into the Premiership. You've got to ask the questions. Nobody will need to ask the questions. Why? Why are they letting him go? He's one of the most influential players in the Championship. They've won the league, they're into the Premiership, but they're dropping him, they're getting rid of him. And then we pick him up, then we see why they get rid of him, because he's knackered. He's done,
Legs
he's
have gone.
finished.
I
hope we don't sign any more of these players. I don't want any more, we've signed them 34 and all that. We've signed, can he run, can he move? No that type of experience we need. We need 26, 27-year-olds who can move and run and play. That's what we
What
need.
would it be? Someone come on in midfield, mate. Passing, moving, running.
Well, there's a good point, by the way. That wee boy come on, what's his name again? It's no Shepherd. What's his name, mate?
No,
Can't remember it.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
Aidan McCallum.
He come on and he comes on to replace Diamandi. Now, the question you need to ask yourself, when that wee boy come on, did he play well? He done all right. He played brilliant, but he done all right. But did he improve? Did the standard on the park drop? Not really. Did it get better when Diamandi went off? Not really. So what does that tell you about Diamandi? If that wee boy can come on and just match what he's doing on a park, it tells you everything you want to know. But I was expecting that wee boy to come on, having a good game, but the whole standard of the midfield dropped right down because he's only a wee boy. He's not a day with his ability. He's just a wee boy. But it didn't. And you're sitting saying, well, what does that tell me? Well, I'm thinking, what does that tell me about Diamandi? You're not doing hellish much if that wee boy can come on and just stay as good as you.
I get it, mate. I thought the wee boy done all right, mate. I don't know if anybody else
Oh, he did.
really thought on it. I thought he passed and moved and he running off the ball and wanting the ball all the time. I don't understand how you'd want to play football and no wanting the ball. I wanted one to myself, know what I mean? But I don't understand it, mate.
I thought the young lad that played left back did very well.
Aye. Fair play to them, and congratulate them as well, getting their minutes under their belt, And one of them just turned 16, so delighted for him. Big day for their families as well, So I take your point, Albert. I take your point. Right, so where are we? Where are we now? where have we gone and how do we improve? That'll be for after the tune, unless somebody we want to go down another avenue. But however, do we all agree, one by one, just it's been the bizarrest season ever? Bridge?
Oh,
You've
aye,
seen a few, mate.
100%. 100%.
Aye, mental. Jim, you've seen a few also.
Yeah, 100%. It's been mental. That's my word for this season, mental.
Aye. Albert, you know a few mental people, so you agree it's mental?
Oh, it was mental but enjoyable to a point, mate. The competition was there to a point, till the referees decided to get involved and the SFA decided to get involved. But up until that point, it was exciting. That's what it's supposed to be like, mate. It's supposed to be you don't know who's going to win. We didn't know who was going to win, but the officials knew who was going to win. But it's supposed to, that's what competition looks like, mate. It's going to be you turn up at a game, you don't know what's going to happen. But that's for everybody, not just for Rangers, for everybody. So, aye, for that point, I was glad to see it. Competition for a change, and you're getting excited, and you're looking at results, and it's back to which I call normal football, because this procession of the league year in year out, it's just boring, mate. It's just total boring. And you say, no, it's going to be competitive. But aye, but bizarre in our club, and our workings of our club, bizarre. This where we are right now is, well, we're going to talk about it later after the tune, but where we are right now, we're a shambles right now. But we're a shambles with a plan. That's the good thing about it. We have got a plan.
Aye, my squad, then I'll just get AK's thoughts on this. I think my squad's maybe similar to where it was when Gerrard walked in the door. That's how much rebuild we need now. I know some of the people were signed up. If you look at the personnel, they weren't young. Alan McGregor, Scotty Arfield.
Davis.
No, Stephen Davis and that came in later on, didn't they? Stephen Davis and Defoe came in later on, didn't they? Yeah. Alan McGregor, Scotty Arfield had come in, yeah.
Ryan Jack was there, Morelos was there, Candeas was there.
When he brought in.
He had some sort of spine of the team to work with, but it took him a while to get going. But at least he had something to work with. I think Danny Rose in a worse position than now, because at least a young Tavernier, for example, and all that was a big bonus. We don't have anything like that now, so I think he's got major work ahead of him. But I think
you've got a goal scorer, mate. You've got to accept you've got a centre forward.
Aye, you've got something to work on there. Well, you'd Morelos there, when Gerrard came in as well, raw and hungry, Morelos, too. So, but listen, that's if you're meaty styles, but there's a lot of work ahead of him. But the fact they've recognised where the problem is, the bad apples that we've had in the dressing room, I think he's at least got a chance. I think it was Albert that touched on earlier. Russell Martin didn't have a chance, and you could go back to every manager for me after Gerrard departed. I think Gio had much of a chance when they decided to down tools. Bale was the same, Come was the same. Once they decided to down tools on them, Oxby spoke about that team that took to the park against Queen's Park. That team was more than good enough to put away Queen's Park, but they decided they were down in tools to put Clement out of job, and so they did. So they're all away now, hopefully, and Danny Rose gets a chance to build a team and build a winning team.
Here, listen, get yourself a mute, lads, because we're going to have a tune.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, every time I think of that, I think of our big mate, Broxy Teddy, mate. That tune. Right, come and give us your thoughts. Look, we know where we are. We know, I think we're quite realistic. And we're summing up where we are, Robert. We're not in the best of places for a lot of reasons, mate. We're a bit flat because of the way it panned out. If we'd have won the games, we'd still had the same squad needing the same surgery, but you'd have been doing it for a bit of positivity. So maybe a bit of realism that slapped us right in the face. And there's a lot of surgery coming back because there's guys going to be coming back to the club who are away that we forgot about, Danilo and Cifuentes, etc. I don't know what the state of their deals are. And they're eating wages out of us, and that's some of the big mistakes. And no offence to them, they've got contracts, so they'll just play the game. There's other guys who we signed last season. People have their thoughts on them. Whether they're going to ever cut it with us. Only time will tell. We've mentioned Gasman and Asgard, who have shown glimpses of brilliance, but been consistently poor in matches. Would that be fair, Robert?
That's a very fair assessment, mate. There is certainly players in there who they haven't cut the mustard, and they don't seem like they've come in and improved the squad. They've had moments, but you need that over consistency. You need that over a period of a season to really be a good kind of player and successful player at your club. I know there will be players coming back, like you said, Cifuentes and Danilo. Danilo scored 1 goal where the club is at the moment. Cifuentes deal, I believe, he's got an option to buy. Don't believe Toronto would take that up. So you've suddenly got not only players currently who have been playing, maybe having to try and get moved off the books. You've also got guys in,
right,
or guys coming back that you're going to have to try and get off the book as well. So it's going to be a massive, massive challenge to get the ones out, as well as trying to get the right ones in. So it's going to be a busy, busy summer and a hectic summer. And I think it's going to be basically make or break, really, for Danny Rowe, I think, because Kavanagh said he needs the pre-season and the squad. That's the 2 things he can guarantee him this time. So if everything else is down to Danny Rowe. If he's delivering with him, then great. If it doesn't, then I think we all know how it's going to end. But you've got to back him for the season now. The owner spoke, and that's the guy who calls the shots.
Listen, I've got a funny feeling the mood of this and the debate might change on here. We've been joined with our good friend all the way from Western Australia, Gary. Evening, Gaz.
Yeah, you're okay, mate.
All right, mate. All the better for hearing your dulcet tones. I don't know about when your other bit of your video equipment was working there, Nicky was off right. What happened to that? Or he looks at that here, mate.
I know. I'm actually back home just now, Ox. I'm back for there was an event on in Partick on Saturday. I went for a walk about the parish, you know what I mean? But anyway, all good. Aye, it was all good, mate. It was all good. But Ox, this is getting beyond a joke now. This Scottish football.
I've been trying to tell people for years, mate.
Well, Ox, I said it again on Saturday to boys that came through for Armadale. I was talking to them. They were Hearts supporters, you know, and they're the same as me, Ox. We were done rotten by Scottish football years ago, like yourselves, you know what I mean? But you need to, something serious needs to happen now, Ox, because that place on the East End of Scotland, East End of Glasgow now is not a safe environment for any team to go. If there's anything on the line, anything that they need to play for in that East End, then the supporters will make sure that nobody's going to win anything because they'll just invade the park. Twice in 4 weeks they've done that. That's twice in 4 weeks they've invaded the park and nothing's been said about it. Not a sausage. Nothing. In fact, I listened to the manager the day and he congratulated his support. The manager.
Yes. Are you surprised?
No, well, I'm not. Well, I'm not really surprised because it's the Free State of Scotland now. That's exactly what it is. And I do not know. I mean, I just hope and pray that all the clubs in Scotland now can see exactly what's going on, because McInnes and that, they're sick and tired of it. Every club now. Do you know what I mean? It's went from missing emails to blatant now. It's actually blatant cheating. I know I keep getting, I get really upset about it, Ox, because Scottish football was once a great place. It was good. You had 16 or 18 teams in the league, and you get excitement and all that, but that's all gone now. That's all gone now, you know what I mean? These referees, the linesmen, they're lying. They're telling you, you're seeing things on the telly, you're seeing the ball hitting the back of the net, and they're saying, no, you rang. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you actually telling me I don't see that? And then on Saturday there, that Maeda was offside. And then they've even got the referee saying to you, "Oh, I was going to blow for full time, but I did blow, but I didn't blow." Do you know what I mean? He didn't. I don't know. Well, I'm on Ox. I would just like to say hello to Old Bear, because I really like Old Bear, and I met him along with Southside, and it was good to see him, you know. But I fear the worst, Ox. If nobody stands up to this, then that's it. It's all over, mate. You know. I'm sorry to say it, but it is.
I'm going to bring on Old Bear, because I think he's got similar points to you. But you're very unusual, Gary, because people usually like him, then meet him, then they change their mind. You know. Old Bear.
Nice to hear from you, Gary. I've enjoyed meeting you, pal.
That's good, mate. That's good.
I agree with what you're saying, mate. I agree with everything you're saying. It's the good of Scottish football now, mate. It's beyond the fight now is out of Hearts. If they want back up, we'll back them up. But we're not going to lead the fight anymore for these clubs. They need to start doing it for themselves, and we'll back them up. Carving our antidote on the day. We want to be part of the leading group, and if they want us to lead it, we'll lead it. But we're not going to stand alone anymore, mate. And it had to take something like this, Gary, for all these people we start with. I mean, the whole country, not just in Scotland, the whole country's talking about it, going, that's not right. It's just a joke, isn't it? It really is just a joke. Near enough. Sorry, carry on.
The only saving grace that we've got now is that George Fawkes, who was an MP, and he's taking it further now. You know what I mean? I think he's actually going to Europe or wherever it is. But I just found out that McNeil's son now is the guy that does the editing. Did you know that? He does the editing. Aye, he does the editing for Sky. See, this is why I watched a thing today, and the guy says, "How come we never seen any replays? They never seen the replay of the sending off. See the sending off for Alistair Johnson. That sending off against the Rangers. Remember the tackle? Right. They never seen that replay until half time. Did you not hear that today?
I did, mate. And by the way, when I seen it in real time, I didn't think it was a red card. When I seen it from that angle, I thought it was a definite red card, mate. Yeah.
Aye, because they only showed you the one angle. Aye. And then that Dermot, is it Dermot Gallagher? His name is. He kept he kept saying, "Why did they hold it back to half time?" Well, you know why. But this is. But you need all these things. Somebody needs to do a dossier. Somebody done it before on Follow, and they showed you everything. And see him on that Heart and Hand, what he said last week, he was bang on the money. That Dr. John Reid, I said to you before about him, and he's the one that started all this. That MP, he knew, and he went right in heavy-handed right away. And that's him that says we'll nail them to the flare. That same guy.
When you're talking to, you said you were talking to some Hearts supporters there at the weekend, and I know you talked to Thistle supporters. Do they realise what Scottish football is, mate?
Ox, I'm telling you right now, and I said this to you before, nobody in Scotland will ever get the chance to win anything. It doesn't matter what you do, do you know what I mean? You won't get the chance because they've got it all sewn up. They've got it sewn up with the radio, they've got it sewn up with the TV, they've got it sewn up in the SFA. with Neil Doncaster, who never opens his mouth, never comes out and says anything, never says a word. And they said to Martin O'Neill the day, did you thank, what's his name, the Hearts manager? No.
McInnes.
No, he never hung with him, McInnes. No. Nope, not a thing. The contempt that they show for this country is beyond belief. And I'm telling you right now, and I'm not bitter, but I'm bitter. You know what I'm talking about? But I've had enough of them. I really have. I've had enough of it, Ox. And I'm talking for a guy from Australia, you know what I mean? But people say to me last week, what's going on with that? These handballs and all that they're saying that you don't see. People punching the ball out the park, and they're going, no, you never seen that, you know? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry for swearing, Ox, but
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh, it
Well,
says everything you want,
well-
Gary, when the guy that's in charge of the referees get promoted into the position for cheating and lying.
yeah,
That's what he got promoted for, because Rangers said they don't want him refereeing anywhere of our games. Call him. And what did they do? Well, they don't say, right, that's it, enough complaints about you. They promoted him. They gave him a top job in refereeing. He's saying, well,
That's
how's
right.
that right? That can't be right. Then he has this wee show and he comes on and tries to justify all these decisions that everybody knows is cheating. But he's coming out, I mean, that trusty kick Portland in the head, and he comes out and justifies it. Trying to justify, he's not justifying it to anybody with any sense. We're all just sitting going, oh, aye. Oh, no, the rule book doesn't say that. Basically, what he's saying is the rule book says you can kick a goalkeeper in the head as long as you don't do it too hard. That's what he's saying, mate, and it's nuts. It's just nuts. As you say,
I'll cut across you, Albert, because we've been joined. He sneaked in the boys' gate, but we've been joined by Southside. Evening, Southside.
Evening, Ox. Good to hear Gaz on. Gaz, pleasure to meet you, wee man, and thoroughly enjoyed your company for a short time we spoke.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. One thing about you, mate, is I have a lot of respect for people like you, you know. You wear your heart on your sleeve, the same as I do. All right, I might hang with a different scarf, but underneath it, it's red, white and blue, mate, I'm telling you. After what they done to use in 2012, my allegiance has went to use. Without 110% has went to use, you know what I mean? I just hope and pray that before I die and before I leave this earth, that I can see Rangers and tap a Scottish football where you belong, mate, honestly.
Some people would say you're just coming out the closet, Gary, but I don't know what they mean by that.
Well, I've always been in the closet.
Was that no trap too? The toilets in the North and South, mate?
Yes, it was. It was. I left my wee chit in there and the guy opened the door with a stick. Remember, he opened the door with a stick?
Oh, dear. We've also been joined by all the way from Australia, Canada this time for Wee Al. Evening, Al.
Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? Nice to talk
How
to you.
we doing, mate? Good to hear from you. What's on your mind?
I'm doing good. Well, the best I can, but actually, it's been a whole roller coaster of a season, isn't it? Up and down. And the end result kind of predictable. I always knew Danny got us back in the chance of winning the title, I just knew if this falls apart, everybody's going to go after the manager. But changing the manager is not the answer. We need to keep the manager. And there's a lot of problems with the players in the dressing room. And it's clear to see when you see what Tavernier did and not showing up, putting on the strip to play. It's you can just tell that was a battle between him and the manager, because you don't know what he was thinking. Do you think he wanted to leave? He might have wanted to stay. Maybe he's upset he didn't get another year's contract like Sura did. So I think it was Tavernier making a play to see who was going to stay, him or the manager. So it's kind of disappointing to see that, but I think that we've seen the true colours. We can actually see through the statements and see what happened. So that was disappointing. But that's a problem that we've been having for years. If you think the exact same thing happened to Clement, just in the run-up, all the players were standing around asking for contracts, seeing where they're staying next year, and then they down tools. And it's the same thing that happened. I don't think it was a trip away to Spain, but I think it was the conversation around who's staying, who's going, because they want to know, and the manager has to tell them, I guess. So that's what I was thinking. But it's disappointing. But I think it was the one disappointing thing is even though that we had a chance to win the league, Hearts should have won that league. It's so terrible what happened, and you can see that on the news reports all over the world. But it's good that we can see that, because that puts the spotlight on what's actually happening. And that's only the things that we can see in the games that we watch, but there's so many other things that we're not watching and not seeing. So the referees, and I think it was you and Albert that said it won't be the players or the teams that decide this title, it'll be the refs and VAR, and that came out to be true, you know.
That was Albert's statement. I can't take credit for that one out.
It's true, but it worked out that way, really enough. It was sad seeing it come, but it's been happening for years now. These decisions have been spread over years, but this one just seemed to, this time it's just went into a tight group of decisions that decided the title. Let's not be on it. Let's not be kidding ourselves on here. Hearts should have and deserved to win the title. They should have won it. They were cheated at it, mate. No doubt about it. They were cheated at it. And if they want to take the fight up and take it forward, even the game didn't even finish. The whistle didn't go. So the game, the points should have been awarded to them on Saturday there as well. But you're not going to hear anything about that either. That wee rat on Neil's already out trying to spin it. Oh, the referee did whistle. He didn't blow the whistle. I've never watched the game, but by all accounts and people I trust say he didn't blow the whistle. They just, because they invaded the park, they couldn't finish the game. I believe in the rule book. I've not read it, but I believe in the rule book. It states if you don't finish the game, and it's got to go to the centre circle, and it's got to kick off, and then the referee blows to finish a game. And if it doesn't happen, the opposition team get the 3 points, awarded the 3 points with 3-0 victory. I don't know if that's true. I've not read it, but that's what I've been reading. What's happening is everybody's talking about it. So they even should have been awarded the game. Disregard all the penalty kicks and all the dodgy decisions leading up to that game. It's ridiculous, mate. But the good thing about it, it's out now. Everybody's seen it. Everybody in Europe, everybody, as you say, across the world, have seen it and all went, no. There's Buster Keaton going on here. There is no doubt about it. That wee rat Walsh should never referee another game in Scotland, mate, ever. He should be just kicked straight out of professional football, that boy.
There's more than one of them, mate. There's more than one.
Oh, aye, we'll start with him. We'll get rid of the
anyway,
rest
we've
of
not heard much. We've not heard much for Big Mucker Southside, and then we'll go to AK, and then Robert, and then Jim. Southside, how you doing, mate? Bizarre season, ups and downs, highs and lows, and that's just the Southside Super Six.
I know, done yesterday with Everton, and Everton get beat. Done my Super
Well,
Six.
I thought you might have frozen, mate. I thought you might have done.
I didn't. I was busy, mate, yesterday. I'm getting ready to go away, and so I've had things today, and I wasn't really thinking. I just checked it last night. Late on, I was like, off. But that's what it is. But listen, as I was saying, I caught me back saying I was waiting there to come on. What Gary was saying and Albert and what Paul spoke about. There's a boy for Linwood, Loyal Stevie. He's run about for many a season, home and away. You'll see the flag. I think the Pauls have been a bit touchy about it lately, but it says on it, SFA corrupt to the core. And he's been carrying that about them for a long time. You used to see it in a lot of the away games for the Linwood bus. So that's been on display for the Rangers support for a long, long time. And you can see it, it's corrupt as anything. There's a lot of them. There's nobody hiding it. I thought VAR would be more honest and there would be less mistakes in that. But no, it's just in front of your eyes what you're watching, isn't it? It's just in front of your eyes.
2 bites of the cherry.
Aye, and I mean, listen, Hearts had 2 penalties against Motherwell. There's no doubt about it. The boy aimed the ball in the box, and then the one they fouled him in the box, you know. And even Collins put and said that one should have been a penalty. But it's too late. Same as when they were at Kilmarnock, when they were scoring a goal in the last minute, they were getting a penalty because a boy from Kilmarnock kicked the ball after the other boys on. And even they said, no, it shouldn't have been a penalty, but learn for it. Too late. You gave the penalty, they got the points. You know what I mean? It's all after the event, you know. But listen, I think Gavin has come out. He supported the manager. He knows he's going to invest in the club. So hopefully we're going to get some decent players in, and then Danny Rowe can get a good shot at it next season. He was always behind the 8 ball at the start of the season. It was a tough watch. I told him when we met Russell Martin and Bruce, he said, I'll get it right and all that. And I told him back then, I says, listen, see that Rangers support turning there'll be no way for you. You'll be at the door. If you don't get this right and sorted. But he told us about the players' attitude. He told us some of them in the dressing room didn't get it. He told us a man come back 2 stone overweight, wasn't interested, and all that work, and his ticket out the door. But the football was rotten, so it didn't really matter about certain players. But he told us straight, some of these players in here don't get it. I said, well, if you don't get it, you better drum into them. They need to get it, otherwise you'll be out the door. So he went out the door, and Danny Rowe came in. And listen, he said some good performances out of some of your players. He's turned some of them around. Mikey Moore's form changed. Still, sometimes he's a couple of bad games here and there, but he's been decent Ox. No, he's managed to get a tune out of him, and Big Chimiti's starting to look a bit better and score goals now and get on the score sheet. And obviously, he can improve next year. But the good thing is we're going to get a fresh injection of money into the squad, and hopefully we'll get the right type of players and get a good push next season.
Where would you start, mate? Where would you start?
Where would I start? Goalkeeper, centre backs, goalkeeper, centre backs. We need a midfield general. Somebody can go on the ball, dictate the pace, slow the game down, up the pace. A leader knows what he's doing. And obviously we need to get a bit more firepower up front. Listen, I said earlier on a few weeks back, and I said it generously, I said we probably need about 12 players. I mean, easily probably need 12. Whether we get all that, I don't know whether you get Gasman, Stein, Asgard, Stein, I don't know. If just using A2 for example, they need to up their game consistently on a weekly basis, should they stay, and dictate the game more and get involved more. But I'm just using A2 as an example. Whether they go or whether they stay, I do not know. But we need to get a fresh challenge. We need to get in about it. But it'll be interesting. Hopefully Hearts and Motherwell have a go at the SFA and they'll keep the pressure on. And then we can still say what we think, because we've been hard done by and all. And listen, there's only been one set of fans on the park 4 times this year, and it's at Motherwell City. You know, so there's just a common denominator here. So that has to be dealt with. I know. I don't believe Don Robertson blew the whistle. I believe he never blew the whistle. Maybe he's mic'd up in the way they talk on the VAR and all that. You might get to hear some, but I don't believe me personally. I don't think he blew the whistle at all. I think
all goals had to go to VAR.
What's that?
Thought all goals had to go to VAR.
Aye. Well, put it this way, what normally happened is if they didn't come on the park, they would have scored, they'd have made it 3-1, Hearts were up the park, they would have took centre, and then he would probably blow the final whistle. That's what he would have probably done. So, but he's doubled down, and he said he's blowing the whistle. So we'll see, time will tell, but I wouldn't believe anything that they say, to be perfectly honest. But VAR, I honestly thought the game was a level playing field, but look at some of the decisions. By the way, no just us. There's been plenty of decisions going against
one yesterday in the Man United game, mate. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've not seen it. I've seen a still picture of it, but I've never seen the game at all yesterday.
If you watch it, you'll get it on YouTube. If you it's unbelievable.
Aye, shocking. I mean, that's shocking and all, you know, but there's a lot of teams in Scotland been on the wrong end of it all season. St Mirren were quite vocal and all at the start of the season. And it's time that they sorted it out. But anyway, I'd like to thank everybody who's been on the YouTube channel all year listening to the show, Ops, because they've been faithful, all the troops on there. They're on every night and they're listening to the show. So I'd like to thank them for their contribution all season. And maybe next season we'll get 1 or 2 years on the show, phone in and we'll get you on the show. I know 1 or 2 years have been on the show, but maybe get Rabho or something like that one, and we'll get Stephen on and that, and maybe get a wee blather. But I'd like to thank them. Listen, thank Gary. It was a pleasure to meet him, mate. Honestly, it was great to meet Gary. And I hope he's managed to turn the St Mirren, mate, and get up into the Premier League. But I'm going to have to go up because we've got an early start.
You enjoy your break, mate. And remember, a big tip for the taxi driver tomorrow.
Aye, I know. I'll be on parade all day for 10:15. I'll get you tomorrow, mate, and thanks for doing this. To everybody that listens in the show, I'd like to thank them, and hopefully we'll get some more callers on, some people, and we get our regular callers, but we'll get some new callers on as well next year, and keep the show flourishing. And it's all about the Rangers, and it's all about the team we love and the team we support, and hopefully we'll be back to winning ways next year, hopefully, under Danny Rowe. And we'll get galvanised behind them as a support. We sold a lot of season tickets. We want to go home and away and abroad to follow the famous club that we all love. So let's get behind them all season next year, through the good, the bad. Win, lose or draw, it's a Glasgow Rangers stories, we say. So we follow as always and cheer the boys and boys. So thanks for having us on all season, Ops. And I'll just say cheerio to everybody and thank everybody that's been on the show with. And it's been always a pleasure to do the show with them.
You have a good break,
thanks.
Megan, and
I will, mate.
I'll catch you in a
I
few
will.
weeks, yeah?
Yeah, I will do. All right, Trips. I'll catch you later, okay?
Okay, right. Bye. Bye, mate.
Bye,
Cheers,
guys.
Southside.
He's away in holiday with all his winnings.
Not
Right,
big one far
case-
then,
AK, and you come, mate. You've heard a few comments from a few different people, then Robert, then Jim, then Bridge, yeah?
Aye, cool. It's good to have wee Al and Gary on the show there. Good to hear their points of view. Aye, listen, I think they're all kind of singing off the same hymn sheet. I listen to outlets, as you know, Talk Sport and that, and there's no doubt this year that the story...
How many hours are in your day?
No enough. But I always catch up with him. I like to keep my finger on the pulse. But no, listen, Simon Jordan says the spotlight was on Scottish football this year for one reason only, because of the Hearts challenge. You know, it's been Rangers Celtic for the last 40 years. So even the neutrals were plugging for Hearts. So they're all tuning in, and the football world is actually seeing the corruption, the alleged corruption that's going on in Scottish football. And all the other outlets, Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, their podcasts, Talk Sport, and all the other outlets, they've all seen what's going on, and they were shocked. And there's no doubt about it. Hearts have been cheated out of that title. If they get the penalties at Motherwell, they win that game. Celtic draw, drop points. It doesn't even go at the last game of the season, but our officials made it go at the last game of the season. So the thing that David Edgar put out in Heart and Hand last week was absolutely fantastic. If nobody's heard it, in about 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes, he absolutely nails Scottish football. So, listen, we all know what's going on. There's injustices, and it's you know, they've got their men in place. Your Mike Mulroney, top of the SFA. Your Murdo McLennan, top of the SPFL. You've got Neil Doncaster, that's on UEFA boards. You've got Wally Colm, head of referees. They've all got them in position. So we're fighting against a lot of avenues here.
Are you
A
saying
lot
to
of
me
skullduggery going on here, Ox. A lot of
are you
skullduggery.
saying to me that they four people have got something in common? Is that the point you're making to me?
But they all went to the same school, I think.
I don't think they did, mate.
Well,
Are you saying they've got something in common? Is that what you're saying?
yes, they certainly have.
You're a lot more cynical than me. I don't think what you. Robert, in you come.
Listen, I'm probably the other one that's cynical as well, mate, because there's not much else I can add to what Gary's said and Al and AK himself. That we've seen it for years. We know we've seen it. We've called it out before, and unfortunately, at the time, as Albert touched on, we never get the backing. Now it's up to others to recognise and see that we were talking right the whole time. So whether they do that or not, time will tell and see. But what can be done about it? Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. The power that they've got over the SFA is it's staggering. You actually have to question yourself: does the power of the other teams, including us, actually outweigh them in the SFA? Because I don't think it does. I honestly don't think it does. I think it needs to go beyond the SFA for it. You just have to see it. We are all seeing it for eyes. AK said it. It's went worldwide. I seen a clip in Belgium, of all places, calling it for what it is. So it just shows you. And Simon Jordan was right. The whole spotlight was on Scottish football. Albert touched on it. It was exciting for the right reasons. There was somebody else at the top of the tree. It wasn't the Rangers. It wasn't the Celtic. That's made it exciting. And then it's overshadowed by one team and one supporter group and their actions yet again. So something needs done about it. But will it? That's the problem. If it doesn't, Scottish football is done.
Sure.
Right, here goes. I don't think there's an appetite there for any other team other than Rangers. I mean, I've been watching pretty closely over the last couple of weeks here, what's been going on. It's been highlighted worldwide, but there's nothing coming for anybody other. See, I go and follow quite a lot. They're reading that Jambo's kickback and all the rest of it. How they've been treated over the last few weeks, and it's still the same shite coming after them. Sorry for the language. The same shite coming after them. It's a Glasgow thing. They're still going on. And even since Saturday, I've seen merrier furore coming for Rangers fans than I have for Hearts fans, and even reading its own Hearts boards. I don't think there's an appetite there for anybody else. I mean, last week people's eyes got opened up. AK, I know you do a lot of kind of bring me the other sites on that. And Michael Stewart came out and lambasted him. He's now went back to the same crap again, bringing Rangers into this, carry on about refereeing decisions. But he's went full circle on himself. For opening his mouth last week, now it's back to bringing Rangers into it. Why is he scared? Why is he scared to go after one club? Never mind bringing Rangers into it.
I don't usually listen to Michael Stewart. I believe I know that some of his tweets have been took down, etc., mate, but he's not somebody I tend to listen to that much. But I get your point, mate. Bridgeman, in you come, mate, and then we're going to go back to our Gary.
Yeah, when you listen to Michael Stewart, you hear lies. Lies, and terrible lies. That's what you hear from him. But the boys are right. Up to now, anyway, we've seen apathy from a lot of other clubs. Not every other club, I dare say, but from a lot of other clubs, because a huge portion of them are Rangers or Celtic fans anyway. So whether they do it, whether they don't, they're happy. When the television spins round and you see a Premiership manager sitting in the stands at Celtic Park watching a game, there's something wrong with football, in my opinion. It's different if he was there as in the director's box because he's a manager in another club. He's actually sitting in the stadium among the fans, and that's not right. For me, anyway, that's only one part of it. I think that the things that have happened over the last couple of days there shows everybody, if you don't see this as something wrong, then there's something wrong with you. That's all I can say. It's absolutely disgraceful. So there's a number of figures come out. Some of the boys have said that this has happened 3 or 4 times this season, but particularly recently, they invaded the pitch at Ibrox. They broke into the stadium at Ibrox. How they did that, I don't know. But they got into the stadium at Ibrox and wrecked the place and sort of invaded the pitch. This is the things that they want to do. They want to, when the game's over, they want to get on the pitch and celebrate like the Scots did at Wembley way back in 72 or 67, something like that, and smash the goalposts up. No, that nonsense. They want to be seen as people that can do that, and that's just wrong. It's just wrong what they're doing. And if anybody can say that you listen to their manager after the game and he never saw anything, So you got the 3 monkeys. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. That's what they're like. Everybody's going to shut their mouth. There's not going to be any comments. They put a statement out, and all probability, I haven't read it. They've probably put a statement out that says we won that fair and square, no arguments at all, and they're just, well, it's good for them to win it if you get what I mean. But no, that cheating, no, the cheating as much as they do. They've got absolutely no respect for any club in Scotland, none at all, and something should be done about it.
Albert, go on, you have your say.
It's true, mate. We can greet all we want. I'm saying there's no an appetite for it, but I'm telling you right now, if Hearts are no leading a charge on this, they ought to just wrap it, by the way, because they get cheated out of that. We've seen it. The world's seen it. They get cheated out of that league. And there's no doubt about it, mate. You can call it what we want, and they can laugh and scream and shout, we won it fair and square, but they didn't. Same as they didn't win the title with the missing email. They'll just accept it, mate. They'll do anything to win it. Gary called it right. I've said it to Ox after Lerner. I don't see it as Rangers winning a title in my lifetime, by the way, if we don't stand up to this. This has got to stop. We're not asking to be handed a title. We're not asking any favours. We're not asking to get, we get the decision they're getting. I don't want the decisions they get. You want to win the game fair and square, as close to fair and square you can get. There's going to be wrong decisions. Of course there is. You've got to accept that. But that, as they say, irons itself out over the season. And that's fine. That's fair enough. You're only human. It happens. But this is no mistakes, mate. This is people too afraid to get in against them. John Beaton, for example, has been getting bullied for years, bullied off them. His name was up on the internet. There's people at his house and all that. His kids are getting threatened. Now they're trying to make out that was just happened there after that Motherwell game, that SFA. That's lies, mate. That's just blatant lies. It's been happening for years. But what that guy should have done is accused himself of their games. He should have walked into the SFA hierarchy and went, look, I can't do their games. I'm getting all this hassle. I don't feel safe. He needs to come out and say it, mate. And he needs to let it be known. And then they can say, right, you're not getting there again. Instead of that, he doesn't say anything. And he carries on with their games. The way he appeases them is just give them everything. Look at all the decisions he gives them. He never gives a decision against them, mate. Especially not a controversial one. Never, ever gives a decision against them. So that's just cheating. You're going, look, you can't do that. Giving them that penalty against Motherwell. You know that's not a penalty. Everybody knows that's not a penalty. But he gives it. 20 seconds, I'm giving it. Because he knows what's for. If he doesn't give that decision, he's trying to appease them as well. But here they say, maybe they'll lay me a line for a while. You shouldn't be refereeing. You shouldn't be on the park if that's the way you feel. And he shouldn't be getting hassled for a start. But he is getting hassled. But they're trying to make it was after that game. It wasn't after the game. It's been happening for years. And some of the other ones, Connor, that Frank Connor, he's a Celtic fan, a season ticket holder. Is that a penalty kick? Oh, it was more out the box than in the box. So it was on the line, so it's a penalty kick. No, it doesn't say that. Beaton was a referee. He's shouting down his mic. Is it in the box or out the box? Well, it's more out than in. What are you talking about? It's a penalty kick. You know it's a penalty kick. That statement in itself is stupid. But there you go. Does anybody say anything other than Rangers and Rangers supporters say anything about it? No. Everybody sits and laughs. We all had a great time when we went down and we all had great fun and slagging us and sticking the boot into us. Dundee United no giving us money that they owed us and things like that. People just ripping the pee right out of us. It was all great fun. Now it's all come back to roost. It's all come back to them. Are they going to do anything about it now? Probably not. But we've got to take the cause up for us. If they don't want to join us in a fight, that's fine. We'll fight it ourselves, but fight it we must. We're all talking about who we're going to sign this close season. And we still keeping the man. Who we're going to sign it. You've got a bigger fight than that. You've got to sort this SFA and SPFL. You've got to get this sorted out.
A lawyer you need.
Gary, we'll come back to you. John Brown was right. Didn't he? Called it out Easter Road last season.
Yes. As Albert says, it's a good lawyer you need. But if anybody wants to find out exactly how bad Scotland is as a country, the city of Glasgow refused to condemn the Celtic support at the weekend, and they refused the Royal Highland Fusiliers the freedom of the city. There you go.
Just tells you what you want to know, doesn't it?
There, that tells you everything. That tells you everything you want to know. The people that defend the country, they refuse to give them the freedom of the city. But the people that destroy the country, they told them to go ahead. There you go.
Can I come in on
Good
that?
point.
Okay.
When you go, Rob. Then we go to wee Ali.
Sorry, I'll just quickly, just when Gary touches about Glasgow City Council, at the end of their statement, they said that they have been in talks with Celtic for nearly a year in preparation for this. What does that tell you? Why would you plan something a year in advance? Questions?
Exactly. The whole lot of them, it's a cabal. The whole lot of them. And this is I know this is a Rangers show and all that, right? And I'm politically involved in it, but it's a true saying. They were banging the keyboards and we were banging the drums. That's what happened. We took our eye off the ball and they came in and they took it over. So we need to start fighting back, and the only way you can fight them back is at voting. You need to do the voting correctly. And it's the same with the SFA. They put their men in position. They've got all the clubs, all these little clubs. They give them the players. Like that Stephen Welsh has went to Motherwell, so Motherwell will back them. Dundee United, we'll give you a couple of players. Aberdeen, give them a couple of players. Dundee. You get right through it all. You'll see it. The only club they don't give players to is who? Rangers.
I still think that's wrong in Scotland, mate. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They've done it in the lower leagues as well, mate. They were lending players to the lower league teams as well. We were in the lower leagues. But the fact is, in the Premiership, they're strengthening teams but weakening them against themselves. That again is not right. It's just simply not right. Again, nobody says anything about it.
They done it with the boy Christie, mate, when they were going head to head to Aberdeen for the league, mate.
Yeah.
And he couldn't play against them, and it just it wouldn't happen anywhere else, mate.
The big centre half at Aberdeen, they done it as well, Ox. The centre half, the Irish.
Skills.
Aye, the Irish centre half, they done it with Aberdeen. They done it to Aberdeen. They do it all the time. The wee Irish winger that they gave up to Aberdeen. What happened every time we played the Rangers? They scored.
Aye, the one that signed for them and then back up to Aberdeen, Celtic, Aberdeen, yeah. Can't mind his name. I don't think he sold many posters, did he?
Oh no, he was duking for chips. He had a face that looked like for chips, didn't he?
Aye.
Anyway,
he get his money back in the ghost train, Ox.
John Bob Jet. Evening, Bob Jet.
Good evening, lads. That would be Mr. Hayes you're talking about, was it? Johnny Hayes.
That's the very chap, mate.
I was like wanting a photo of him on the side of the house. I wouldn't have got bothered with burglars.
You should just get a mirror, Bob Jet.
He's an alien. His mother put him in the oven and played hide and seek with him, telling him he was getting warmer. I just phoned in to say, hey ho, hey, that's a bad time for us, but chins up, onwards and upwards. A lot of these titles weren't warranted, and I'm not being biased, I'm telling the truth. And this shins are tainted, because they got handed to them on a plate, we all know that. But enough bitterness. We'll just have to get better and get it back to them. It's a good time. We've had enough of rebuilds, had enough of inept managers and inept signings. Rangers, get your act together. Get back among the honours. That's my frustration. Get right back in there among the honours where we belong. The support's been frustrated for too long for a variety of reasons. I don't need to tell you them all. Kicking people on the head and punching the ball at the park. We've got to be big enough to overcome that. And hey ho, hopefully next season that we are. So, have a good summer, lads.
You hear? I'll let wee Al come in all the way first. You know the answer to that? Canada. Al, when you come, mate? I knew it was one of the colonies.
You got it right. Great points. I just love sitting there back, sitting listening to everybody, and everybody's got great points. And I just hope, going back to what Jim said, I just hope there is an appetite. And I think that's the point I was making when everybody's seeing what's going on. I think there will be an appetite. If you listen to the Mallow manager after the game, he's like, "What are we even doing here?" And disgusting comments by Derek McInnes. It is totally disgusting, but the fix has been in since 2012. That was sold to the member clubs. Let's get rid of Rangers, and it'll give you an opportunity to win the league, or win trophies. It'll take away a power, so you guys have a better opportunity. That was sold obviously by them to the member clubs. The member clubs agreed with it, but then everything's came home to roost because the power's been concentrated at the top, and the fix has been in for a long time. The only good thing about Hearts being in the competition this year is because now the spotlight for everybody to see, we can see what's happening, because this has been happening to us ever since we came back. I've just got to think about a couple of decisions that they made. Remember, Lagabialta tripped over and they chopped off Dessers' goal. Lawrence sneezed on somebody in the halfway line and they pulled the game back to no goal. Alan Johnson playing volleyball with the box and they brought it back 3 minutes to make a foul or whatever for offside. The fact that it's been terrible, all the goals have been chopped off, I think 21 this season. The fix has been in. But you know what? It's down to the SFA now to make a decision, because if you look at other teams that have had pitch incursions, Slavia Prague, they got fined 400,000. The game was abandoned. Even in Australia, Melbourne Victory, 10-point deduction, again fined $500,000 or pounds or whatever. St. Petersburg against Dynamo, they had to forfeit a 3-0 loss because of what happened. Even Reading and Blackpool had 3-point deductions because of pitch incursions. So massive fines and point deductions and forfeit to a loss. We'll have to see what happens. It'll probably be laughable what happens, but probably won't even get a fine, That's my opinion.
Cheers, Al. Cheers. We've been joined by Matt. Evening, Matt.
Good evening, guys.
How we doing, mate? How we doing? Nice to hear from you.
Thanks. Not bad. I have a question for everybody, right? I heard I can't remember whose name it was. talking about the corruption with decisions and all that, right? Do you think VAR is helping with their corruption decisions, and would you get rid of it?
Yes.
Well, I thought VAR, I don't like VAR for how it slows the game down, but I thought it would help you get more right decisions. It doesn't seem to be doing that. So there's an answer, a politician's answer. If it's not improved the game, what is the point? Albert and then EK.
In principle, VAR's a good thing, mate. In principle, it's a good thing. The way we're operating it up here, it's a bad thing, and it should be ripped out and thrown away, along with the people that are operating it. Because at the end of the day, they're taking a bad decision and making it worse, mate. And at the end of the, if they're calling the referee out to look at a decision. And now, bear in mind, the guidelines right at the beginning when VAR got introduced was a clear and obvious mistake. They're just calling them over because of a certain team. That's what's happening in the moment. And they're taking play back. They're saying they don't want to re-referee games. They do nothing but re-referee games. You go to the referees now, no given a decision, a penalty kick, for example. They'll no get in real time. They'll wait till let that go to VAR, let that go. It's not meant to be like that. You get right. You've got linesmen who'll no put their flags up. I mean, the first goal at Parkhead there against Rangers. Look at the linesman. It went to VAR, but he never put his flag up. Why is he not putting his flag up? He doesn't know what's happening. He just sees 3 players offside. So the flag should go up. Then it should go to VAR to see if it stands. Then they can come out with their bullshit, carry on about he's not like the sight line, the goalkeeper, which is a lot of nonsense anyway. So if you look at VAR from that point of view, it's a waste of time, complete and utter waste of time. But you bear in mind what was happening before VAR. They were getting away with even worse decisions that were never even getting highlighted. So all VAR are doing is highlighting the corruption, mate. It's not meant to do that. They didn't expect it to do that, but that's all it's doing now. And it's showing the rest of the world how corrupt it is. We've been sitting watching this when it wasn't VAR, mate, watching dodgy decisions all over the place. You're getting it. Are we definitely getting refereed to a different standard? And you think every team would say the same thing. But now everybody's looking at it going, well, hold on a minute. Anybody gets close to them, I think as Gary says, anybody gets close to them, they just wipe the competition out. You're not winning anything. Now remember, these bad decisions with Hearts there and us over the years, it's tens of millions of pounds we're talking about here. So it's not just football corruption, it is actual corruption. It's criminal corruption here, by the way, because they're just not allowing anybody to get any investment into their club with the big packages that come for the Champions League. They're saying no. So no club can actually grow in Scotland the way they're operating this. And it's wrong, mate. It's simply wrong. But nobody wants to talk about it. They know fine well that's tens of millions of pounds. That's the big reason. That and other silly, wee daft reasons, but that's the big reason. And it's being let. So it's criminal in my mind. It really is criminal. It should be investigated out with football, because there's criminal activities happening here. It really is bad.
The only thing VAR's done is Wally Collins now got a TV show. That's all. He's got a TV show out here to apologise to everybody. You don't get that in England. They don't have that, do they? A wee referee, the supervisor comes on every week and says, oh, that was wrong, that was wrong, that was wrong. Too bad, we'll learn for it. Nah, the decision's done. Just laughs at you.
Gasline, AK.
Hi, good evening, Matt. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm right in saying before VAR was introduced, the referees had a success rate of calling right decisions on the park was round about 95%. I believe that has now dropped to 91%. So that the officiating on the park has got worse. I think the enjoyment for the supporter in the stands has got worse, because you look at it, many times you've been to a game and you've got no idea why the game stopped and what they're looking for and the length of time that they're getting to it. So it's all contrived to be for the armchair fan, but even then they're still not getting decisions right. I would do away with it personally. But it's another avenue to go down the line to make sure teams are not getting goals or teams are getting, allegedly dodgy decisions, and it's not been for the benefit of the game. So I don't think VAR has been good for the game in Scotland at all, Matt.
What about you, Matt? What's your take on it?
Well, right, well, a quick story. Tonight I was in Ibrox, okay, watching the football, like the fans versus the fans, 11 aside versus 11 aside, and they had real officials there, right? And I have never seen a flag go up so quick for offside compared to the professional game, where they don't put the flag up anymore. And for me, I would get rid of VAR straight away, or the other option for VAR would bring in other officials for Europe or down south. We stop using Scottish officials because they don't. You see, if it is corrupt, is everybody? We all know it's corrupt, but just to prove that it isn't, it is corrupt, I would get rid of it, definitely, or bring in different officials.
Is it VAR itself that's wrong, or the people working it, Matt?
The people working it, but I didn't realise the way Thingy explained VAR. I thought that when they brought VAR in, right, if the referee missed something on the pitch, they were to turn and say that's a penalty, not to go back to the monitor and then stop play 5 minutes later and say, right, okay, we need to pull it back to a penalty. I thought basically they were to say, right, that's handball, that's a penalty in the box. That's what I thought VAR was brought in for.
Do you know they gave us a start? I only seen literally a few minutes of Match of the Day 2 last night, and it was Match of the Day or whatever it was, and it was the Man United game with the goal that Man United scored, and they said that it went to the monitor. The guy got asked to go to the monitor and look at it, and he stuck with his decision to gain the goal, and it's only the 17th time in 7 years that that's actually happened. I thought that was a remarkable stat, because when you get called to the monitor, what they're really saying is they're showing you something you've missed. You know,
That's what's supposed to be. Put it this way, Mark. If VAR wasn't in this season, Hearts win the league. Hands down, Hearts win the league. Because see, the decision that actually decided the league was a penalty kick that Celtic got. But on the day, on that night, Beaton never gave it. He never gave it. That went to VAR. So that if we don't have VAR, he doesn't go. He doesn't give that penalty kick. That doesn't go to VAR. They get a draw and they get into Parkhead with Hearts 3 points clear, and then he scores something like 5 goals, 6 goals or something. So Hearts win the league. That's how stupid this is going now. The actual introduction of VAR has cost Hearts tens of millions of pounds. That one decision cost them tens of millions of pounds.
It's bizarre. I don't know if in Scotland, because you've not got the all singing, all dancing VAR that doesn't work, and then you've not got the right camera angles for the monitor, and then somebody was saying earlier on that it was being manipulated with TV channels with the edits. I can't believe that would ever happen in Scotland. Your minds are just terrible compared to me.
Well said, Oxford.
I just maybe it's no VAR itself, Matt. Maybe it's the people operating it. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, but whatever it is, it's definitely not working. But it'd be good if we could ask a referee what he thought. If we only knew a referee, anybody get any ideas? Jim?
I think we've got to the stage, I think, in this country, I think we need full-time officials. And I also see this far. I'm going as far as saying I think there should be club officials in that VR room. I really do. Well, I would start with full-time officials. I think it's needed.
But surely the VAR officials should be completely independent of the SFA. It's the same referees that do VAR as well. Just circulate it, that's all. So no matter who you're talking to in VAR, they're just going to say, well, they'll say what they want to say, and nobody's going to argue with them. You know, that's it done, you know. I don't think they should be doing that at all. You've got referees on the pitch. I would say your VAR should be completely independent. If you're calling VAR, or VAR's going to call you and say that you're wrong with that, then you accept it. That's what I say. I'm not being funny. I think we're sitting with, you know, who's Kevin Clancy's on VAR. Wait a wee minute. He was a referee in a game during the week there. What's going on? That's it. They shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. Simple. referees.
By the way, see before we go, the wee guy that's come on here. Are you a Partick Thistle supporter?
Yes. Aye.
Right, did you see your wee pal's going to be officiating at your games?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Make
I know.
cock-ups in Scottish football, man, and get rewarded for it. That's just how it's gone nowadays.
Exactly, and that's what I keep saying. I keep saying it. You know what I mean? We've been in the playoffs for 10 years. We've never got out it yet.
There's no
10 years.
accountability. That's a big problem.
That is a problem. Aye, you're right.
Aye, there's nothing happens with failure. Getting the right big decisions right, getting moments right, and getting obvious decisions right, Matt. I think that's one of the things that frustrates supporters. Look, if you can't see something and you say, well, there was something in front of him, you can't see it, and it goes to VAR, you say, well, you can see how the referee never seen that. But when you see some of the things, like I'll go back a year ago, when the ball hits the net at Easter Road, the side netting, and the referee decides he can't get it, and then they go up the park and score, and they can't use VAR because it's inconclusive, and the ball's 3 foot out of the net, out of the line. Wow. Yeah.
Can I say something? Can I say something? I know you always have a go at me for obviously refereeing and that. It's a true saying in refereeing. See if you can't see it, you can't get it. It's simple.
Mate. I get that. If somebody runs in front of you and somebody's standing in front of you just and something happens, you can't get it, mate. But you also know, Jim, you've been about this planet for a long time, that in certain levels people maybe go with the crowd. In certain levels, they go with the reaction of the players if they've not seen that split-second decision, yeah? Because that's human nature. It is a factor, mate.
Aye.
But I agree with you, if people don't see it, they can't
The trouble, Jim, is there's 7 of them don't see it. I mean, there's
Exactly.
7 people don't see these decisions. Whereas you're talking about, what you're talking about, Jim's right. If the referee can't see it, he can't hear. I agree with that. You've got 2 lines when there's 3. You've got the guy standing at the tunnel, there's 4. You've got the guy in the stand, there's 5. And you've got 8 of them. There's got 3 of them in the VAR room. There's 8 of them. The 8 people can't see that.
Nah, but you're not being fair there, old man. You're more out than in. And you come, Matt.
I don't really know what else to say other than, I would maybe bring in different people for VAR. Independent people, that would be a good idea. But it will never happen because they've got to let Celtic win the league every year.
Tens of millions of pounds, mate.
It'd be interesting to see what Hearts say about this, young Robert.
I think to answer Matt's question that he first asked about, would you get rid of VAR? I think there's a lot of teething problems with VAR. We can all see it. The technology, some of the angles. I mean, there was a game a couple of weeks ago, Kilmarnock in Dundee. They couldn't draw lines on the artificial pitch because of the sun glare. I mean, come on, what kind of technology you got? But there's teething problems. But the biggest problem we've got, it's the officials who are operating it, because it's the same officials that the boys have touched on tonight that are making the wrong decisions on the park initially. So you make an error, somebody pulls you up for it, and then the following week you're in that room to pull up somebody else's error. That doesn't make sense. This season, up to the split, there's been 112 overturned decisions by a VAR than the against the referee's on-field decision. 76 of them, the referee was sent to the monitor, and 36 were factual overturns. Now, you can take that any way you like, but that tells me that the referees are not making the decisions on the field and are relying too much on VAR to bail them out because it's their pals in the monitor room. There's teething problems with the technology, but I think the biggest problems, and we can all see it and we can probably agree, is the officials who operate it. Now, I don't know if this solves the problem, but because I've been ex-SFA referees or FIFA referees, but guys who are retired from officiating, no longer on the field, why not use them? They're experienced. Put them in the VAR room because they're not making decisions wrong on the field. They're simply doing a job in the room.
They'll never give up their Celtic season tickets, mate. They'll not do that.
Well, that's half the problem. But why not up to somebody else? The guys are right. Bring in independent people, but then you don't know, because it's independent, it's all anonymous. You've got this KMI panel who review everything, every decision. They're anonymous. Why? Who are they? We don't know. Who could they be? You never know.
All they're doing is gaslighting you as a supporter, aren't they?
Aye.
Yeah, if you've lost 2 points, they tell you, oh, that goal should never have stood, and you've lost a goal the last minute and you've dropped 2 points. Doesn't matter if they come out and say that actually never happened. What difference does it make? And eventually, if they don't want the game's going to end up in court, and the game's finished. If that happens, the game's
That's
finished.
going to happen, mate. That's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. Because there's no other road open to anybody. We're all just looking at it and going, they're never going to change. They're going to gaslight you, like we call them, and try to justify these wrong decisions. Now, as I said, there is a degree, a percentage of decisions they're going to get wrong. That's just natural. You can't do anything about that. But there's these other nonsense, especially with VAR. That's supposed to eradicate all this as much as it possibly can. Eradicate these decisions, the wrong decisions especially. But it's no. It's actually adding to it. It doesn't make any sense, mate. They're all forgetting what the VAR's brought in for. That's the problem. I sit there now and Rangers score a goal and you go, what are they going to chop this one off? You're just waiting for it. Oh, it's going to. I don't know how many times.
I thought Jamitti's goal was getting chopped off in Saturday. Gasmith's goal. I did.
Aye. You're just waiting for it, mate. And if that game would actually meant it, and I said earlier on the show, if that game would have meant it and we were still in the title race, that goal wouldn't have stood, mate. I'll guarantee you that.
They would have chopped Big Jamitti's second goal after him hitting the ball too hard, mate.
You nearly bust the net there. Don't do that again.
Yeah, that's not allowed. That's not allowed.
Oh.
Right.
The only points you're making there, Ox, about VAR.
Yes.
To me, it comes down to simplicity like this. A substandard equipment will go up here with substandard officials. Therefore, you'll get substandard decisions. It was all brought in to benefit the one club anyway, and it's doing it. It's been proved there last Wednesday. So that's my basic take on it. All bear your spot on what you're saying, mate.
Listen, Bob Jarrett, I'll get your final words of the season for you. I'm going to go round and talk to everybody and wrap it up, mate. Can we thank you, Bob Jarrett, for all your support and your words of wisdom, mate? We always like to have you on the show, mate.
Yes, and can I thank you for having me on for the year? Mate. Well, the worst one was the German barber. We'll never hear that in again. And Bridge, I'll never hear that in again, pal. German barber called haircuts. There you go. Right. Thanks for having me this.
You just done it again.
I know. It's been great to hear from you. It always says it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. I look forward to it every night of the week or any time I can come on. I've calmed the dog down. He doesn't bark so regularly. He's like me. He's getting older. Look, guys, have a good summer. And Rangers, come on, chin up, onwards and upwards. We'll get back among the honours, all right. Of that, I'm absolutely convinced. I'll be quicker than we think. Have a good summer, guys, and thank you again.
Cheers, Bob Jarrett. We out.
Well, thanks again for letting us come on. It's a pleasure to come in and call. I'm just so glad I was able to call in tonight on the last night of the season. And you guys all have a great summer. And I'm with Bob Jarrett. I think the only way is up, and we've got a good team. I'm so glad that we've got a good management team, and I think let's stick behind this manager. And after this season, I don't think it can get any worse. We are the people.
Cheers, mate. Matt, last word for yourself, mate. Good call at the end there, mate. Last season.
Just a big thanks to you guys for doing a great show every night that you are on. I love listening to you. And Big Bob Jarrett, say thanks to him because he kept my spirits up. The most enthusiastic man on the planet when they're at their bad. And is it Robert? Your statistics are fantastic every night that I listen.
There you go, Robert. There you go, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
that's why AK copies my homework.
Have a good night, guys. See you next season.
Cheers, Matt. Cheers, mate. Enjoy your summer, brah. He never had an original thought in his life. Robert, come on. He's good at copying and pasting, but he's good at it.
Enough of that.
Right, where are we? Right, is the bridge? Is he? Right, Urjum, debut season. Hope you enjoyed it, mate. We enjoyed you. Thanks for taking part in all the banter, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good. No, really good. Really, thanks very much for letting me be part of it. Because in there, it's the same as it's in there. That you rip it open, it's blue blood that's in it. A wee bit of orange, a wee bit of crimson, and all. So, again, thanks for letting me be part of it, big man. You big man, you do great. Keeping everybody together in here. Robert, your stats are superb. All better. AK, fantastic. Thanks very much.
Cheers,
Robert, your
Jim.
stats are good. Thanks, Fox, and all that. I should say to Robert. What are you going to say, Albert? Thanks for no smelling fish.
Thanks everybody. Don't worry about
that. Hey, did you say Gary's still on? Is Gary still there?
Gary's still here, I think.
Yes, I'm still here, mate.
I'm just going to go to him, mate. I was just going to go to him, mate. Yeah, on you go, Gary. The floor's yours, mate. The floor's yours.
I would just like to firstly point out to Jim, I like two comments, the orange and the crimson. I really liked that. That was fantastic, mate. I get where you're coming from. Don't. I know I've got different colours, mate, but trust me, you open me and I'm red, white and blue with a big red hand in the middle of it. Honestly, but I just hope to God that this all gets sorted, Scottish football. And I said it and I keep saying it. In 2012, when they tried to kill you, they didn't. That John Reid says will nail him to the floor. He tried to. He nearly done it, but he didn't. And he's came back, and he'll come back for us. Mark my words, you'll come back stronger and better. And let's go for it. I'm telling you, Renew, just wipe the flare with him. Wipe the flare with them. They're up there and just knock them right off that perch. Because they're ready to topple. I'm telling you, they will. No surrender, boys.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon, mate.
Okay, Ox.
Cheers, mate. Jim, what did you have there for your supper? Some people want to know.
Supper?
You get caught eating again, didn't you? We caught eating. Yeah.
Get caught eating, brilliant, man.
What do you think, AK?
Oh, he was definitely chewing away on something. It wasn't the fat.
AK, last word for your good self.
No worries. No, I appreciate the callers that come in there tonight. Good to speak to yourself, Gary, and we Al and Matt and that. Bob Jerry, as always. It's I would love to say it's been an enjoyable season, but it hasn't. So we dust ourselves down.
You'd be lying.
Aye. But thanks to yourself and all the panelists, Albert, Rob, everybody that's there, and obviously our techie team. Without them, we wouldn't have a show. But listen, we go again. We've got a chance this time. I think that we needed people, individuals eradicated for that dressing room, and we need big changes. So I'm excited for what's coming for the next season, Ox. But thanks again for yourself and all the panelists. Enjoy your summer, guys, and we'll go again next year on the Rangers.
Yeah. Good, Robert.
It's been a good show tonight, mate. Good to get a lot of the guys on and a few callers there as well and listen over the season. It's always good to get the callers on and have everybody out there listening in. So always a good show and we're always here. Any result, we're putting a show on for the listeners and the callers out there to come and gauge your thoughts. So been an enjoyable conversation, but as the guys have already said, mate, this season's ended. Dust ourselves off, come back stronger next season and we'll go again. Cheers for having us as always, mate. Always a pleasure to be in the show with yourself and the rest of the guys.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. I think we've put on about 220 shows this season, I think. Yeah, so we do all right. We do all right. And sometimes we can't make it. People's lives get in the way. Football matches get in the way as well. We'll never criticise anybody on here going to watch the Rangers. Albert, wrap it up.
Aye, good to vote on yourself. Robert, AK, Bridge, Jim, Gary, Southside, Weal, Bob, Jer, Matt. Good to be on with all yous. It was a good show, mate. Not a good season, but a good show. We'll be back, mate. We'll be back. It's marching season coming up, so there's that to look forward to, mate. And then we'll dust ourselves down, get ready, sharpen up the studs, and we'll be back next season to have a go. But we'll need to sort that SFA and SPFL out first, mate. we definitely need to go to war with him. So,
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you on next season.
Yeah, listen, Albert's just listed all the calls, and I'd like to thank everybody that's called in, not just tonight, everybody that makes the show who's called in all of the season with you phoning in. There's no show, sometimes it's quiet because there's no Rangers news. Sometimes we're busy and we struggle with everybody on because some stories broke, but can we thank you? And I hope that for the support everybody gives Rangers Radio is much appreciated. The people who give up their time, all the panellists, thank them, each and every one of them. The people in the background who would thought there is no show, that's the real stars at Rangers Radio. That is Old School Blue and the one and only Fox. They're the guys who keep the show going, and I'll say it again, without them, there is no show. And they work away, even when we're no on there, they're trying sometimes to sort out some technical glitches. So from the bottom of my heart, thank the two gentlemen who deserve every single bit of praise they get. To you, the listeners, remember apples grow again, and we are the people, and we shall be back. Next season can't come soon enough. I'm glad 2025 and 26 is finished. I was like that 3 or 4 weeks ago, but the way it's panned out, it's been sore. So for me, have a great summer, and we'll be back soon. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Sure I am an Ulster Orangeman, from Marin's Isle I came to see my British brethren of honour and of fame, and to tell them of my forefathers who fought in days of yore, that I might have the right to wear the sash my father wore. It is old, but it is beautiful, and its colours, they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aughrim, Enniskillen, and the Boyne. My father wore it as a youth in bygone days of yore, and on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father wore. For those brave men who crossed the Boyne have not fought or died in vain. Our unity, religion and laws and freedom to maintain. If the call should come, we'll follow the drum and cross that river once more, so that tomorrow's Ulster man may wear the sash my father wore. It is old, but it is beautiful, and its colours, they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aughrim, Enniskillen, and the Boyne. My father wore it as a youth in bygone days of yore, and on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father wore. And when someday across the sea to Antrim shore you come, we'll welcome you in royal style to the sound of flute and drum. And Ulster's hills shall echo still from Rothlin to Dromore, as we sing again the loyal strain of the sash my father wore.
It is old, but it is beautiful, and its colours, they are fine. It was worn at
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.